guys, it's AJ. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching me and Mr. Vuitton. I am here to share with you a tag video that I was generously tagged by the gorgeous Charis of LV Lover CC to participate in this tag video. I think it was originated by Mel and Melbourne, but several other YouTubers and Instagrammers have done this tag video. So that was so generous, Charis. Thank you so much for tagging me. I really appreciate it. And this video was kind of hard for me in a way, just because I don't have a huge collection of handbags, but I do have several right now that I really, really love. So with that being said, today is Valentine's Day and I had some time to film. So I have my L&M J'adore sort of heart sweatshirt on. I thought it was appropriate for Valentine's Day. So we will go ahead and get into this. Tag video is 5 bags you would keep and 5 bags you would sacrifice. And right now my collection, as I said, isn't that large, but I have, I think 5 or 6 handbags right now. And all of them are ones that I wouldn't really consider selling unless something, major came up where I really needed the money to put towards a bigger or more important purchase. And I haven't really bought or sold that many bags in the last year or so. Actually, I take that back. I've bought 3 and I've sold 2. But as far as turning over and how I used to, buy a bag and sell and buy and sell, I just really haven't done that. I've really been focusing on purchasing bags that I truly love and that I feel will be functional for my lifestyle, and that I don't see myself wanting to sell in the next, short term, 3, 6, 9, even 12 months period. So all the bags that I own right now are definitely ones that I see myself owning for the, the long haul, for the duration of time. So the bags that I would say that I would definitely keep, as far as the 5 that I would always want to hang on to, are my Chanel Maxi. And I have that bag in the caviar leather in black with silver hardware. And that bag is just the perfect size for me as far as a Chanel Classic flap goes. I've had the Jumbo and the Maxi, and I had them both at the same time. I had the Jumbo, I purchased the Maxi, and I thought I would keep both because I thought I would use both in different ways and that I would reach for both of them equally. And it turned out that I really just reached for the Maxi a lot more frequently. The chain, the shoulder drop, the size, I love the black with the silver. I generally always like gold hardware, but there was just something about the silver hardware with the Maxi. It's really, really sharp and modern, but a little more casual than the gold, obviously. So I just, over time, I decided that the Jumbo should leave my collection. And so I did sell that bag in favor of keeping the Maxi and using it a lot more. So that's a bag that I never really would consider selling. The reason also for that is not just because I do love that bag, but because the Maxi is now, I think, $7,700. And when I bought my Maxi, it's I think like a 19 series. So it's the really, really thick, beautiful, shiny caviar. And I paid $4,500 for it. And now if I were to sell it and ever want to repurchase that bag, it would be totally out of budget and I would never be able to purchase it again. So that's another reason, especially with Chanel, because of the price increases and how high they're starting to go. I just really, really think twice about selling my Chanel bags before I do, because as I said, when I've purchased them, they've been lower. And now, the prices just keep going up, that they would be totally out of sight, that I wouldn't ever be able to consider buying one brand new. So that's another reason why I really think before I sell. And that's true for any designer handbag. They all have price increases yearly, if not bi-yearly or more often than that. So it's just something to think about, that if you are concerned about, if you're going to have seller's remorse or you're going to want that bag again someday, just thinking about that over time prices do increase. And so even on the resale market or in consignment stores like Fashion Pile and Yogi's Closet, the prices are going to keep going up because the retail price is going up. So my Chanel Maxi, I definitely would always want to hang on to. Another bag I would always want to hang on to is my Louis Vuitton Bedford in the vernis leather. And I just did a video on that. I think it was my last video. It's been a while since I filmed just because it's been kind of crazy and I've had a lot of other things sort of vying for my attention. But that bag is really, really special, and it's just a beautiful classic piece. I feel like it's a really classic shape from Louis Vuitton, and that bag isn't made anymore. It's a discontinued combination. That Pomme d'Amour color is discontinued. So for me, I really like to hold on to the bags that I know I wouldn't be able to repurchase readily in the future. I've owned several classic bags, like the Louis Vuitton Speedy and the Neverfull, and I've owned a couple of different Almas, but in canvases or combinations that are still in production. So if I've been looking to purchase a more expensive bag and I've been trying to sort of cull down my collection in order to put money towards a more expensive bag, I always just try to think about, okay, in the future, if I want to buy this again, is it going to be available? And that's the ones that I'll generally part with. So my Bedford in the Pomme d'Amour vernis leather is definitely one I wouldn't want to part with, just because finding that bag in that color and in the condition that mine is in is virtually impossible because of the age of that style. So that's another bag I definitely would always want to hang on to. Another bag I definitely have considered selling, but I just can't bring myself to do it because it still makes my heart flutter, is my Chanel Trendy CC. And I actually am going to be doing a video next on that bag on a 6-month wear and tear video, because I had a request for that through my Instagram account. So if you're interested in that bag or in learning more about the Trendy, definitely check that out. I'll have that posted hopefully later this week, I would say. But in any event, that is a bag, like I said, that I've kind of considered selling because I just don't reach for it all that much because of the lambskin. But every time I think about selling it, I sort of just stop, and it just is such a gorgeous bag, and it has a lot of, it just has a lot of meaning to me. So I haven't been able to sell that, and I don't know that I will in the future, just because Chanel does just keep going up. The Trendy hasn't seen an increase in the last couple times, but eventually it will just continue to go up, and it'll price me out of ever owning that bag. So my Maxi, my Trendy definitely would keep, and my Bedford, my Louis Vuitton Bedford. Another bag that I have also considered selling, but that, again, I can't bring myself to do it, and for what I would get out of the bag, it's not worth it to part with it, and that is my Coach Riley. This bag was really one of those where it was the thrill of the chase with this bag. I had seen it on the Coach website. It was on back order. It was like full price, which was $550, which to me for Coach is just a little bit out of my comfort zone. But this bag is just so special to me. I love the top handle. It holds a ton. It reminds me so much of the Louis Vuitton Dauphine bag. That was what really drew me to it in the first place. And then I found it on eBay, basically for the same price as like a sale price on Coach, so I would have been able to purchase it through there. But Coach had it on back order, and I was just so afraid I would miss out on it. So I ended up finding it, as I said, on eBay in brand new condition. But every time I kind of think about selling this bag, just because I do have other designer bags, something stops me, and it just is so special to me because I knew how much I wanted this bag when I was first looking for it. And I really still just like the style. It's super user-friendly. It goes crossbody. It holds a ton, and it has a special place in my heart. So this is a bag I definitely don't see myself parting with in the future. Of the rest of my handbags that I own, I would say probably the other one that I would not sell is my Louis Vuitton Galliera in the GM size. And again, the reason for that being that bag is discontinued. Louis Vuitton does not make it anymore. I have it in the monogram canvas. And when I bought it, it was pretty much like new. I'm not really sure that anyone even used that bag. It's from 2008, so it's definitely an older handbag, but it was in pretty much excellent, like new condition. And I don't have any other like shoulder hobo type style bags in my collection. And it just really is a gorgeous bag. I've always loved that style. I've always thought it was really like, you know, classic Louis Vuitton sort of cruise collection type style. And I love the plate on the front. I got a longer strap off Amazon, like a vachetta strap that I can use for a crossbody. But it just is a gorgeous bag, and it has like a really nice presence to it. It's a really nice thick canvas. And again, because of the fact that that style is discontinued, finding it in that kind of condition down the road, if I were to sell mine and then want to buy it again, would definitely be a hard task. So that's what I always kind of think of when I go to sell a bag, is what if I want to buy this, because I have repurchased bags before. And if I want to buy this again, will I ever be able to find one in the condition that mine's in, and knowing what I know about it down the line. So that's definitely something that I think about when I'm considering selling bags. As far as bags that I would part with, I'm going to talk about a few that I have sold recently, and then out of my collection ones that would be sort of the first ones on the chopping block if I were to need to sell handbags. The Artsy and Empreinte leather, I owned that bag last year, and it absolutely is stunning. It was a beautiful older model bag. It was in the color Neige, which is like a really, really light off-white color basically. And I believe that that bag was from 2012. So it was super thick. It was like the most luxurious leather. It was gorgeous. But I just didn't reach for that bag because of the color. And if you're really, really hesitating in using a handbag, I don't just have my handbags to collect or to sit around or to look at. I want to be able to use them. And also coupled with the fact that it was the full leather, so it was a very heavy handbag that you really couldn't put on your shoulder, because I didn't want it to get discolored or mushed or the handle to get really, really bent. So it was just one that I really didn't reach for because of the color and the functionality. So that bag left my collection, and I basically used the funds from the sale of that bag to go towards my Galliera, my Louis Vuitton Galliera, because I bought that bag shortly after I sold the Artsy. And truthfully, I've used the Galliera way more than I used the Artsy just in the few months that I've had it. Givenchy Antigona, I've owned that bag, I think like 4 or 5 times. It's ridiculous. I've owned it in navy and burgundy and gray and beige and black, and I've owned it in, those were all size medium. I've owned it in the size small in black, which was a little bit too small for my liking. But the reason why I always end up putting that bag on the chopping block whenever I'm looking to buy another handbag is because it's so readily available. You can find Antigonas all the time, especially mediums, because it's not the most popular size. And it's a very heavy handbag, even if you use the shoulder strap, because the handles kind of poke up. So it's not the most convenient shoulder bag. And as far as a satchel goes, it's very, very heavy. It's a really heavy goatskin leather. And so that bag, whenever I've owned the Antigona and I've considered buying another bag, or another bag's been on my radar, I always have said, okay, it can go. I can buy that bag again. I'll be able to find another one. And I always will sell it. So that's what I did with my black Antigona, which was the last one that I did own in the medium size. And I used the funds from that bag to buy my Louis Vuitton Alma MM. And there again, I've used the Alma way, way, way more than I used the Antigona when I owned it, because it's a nice lightweight canvas bag, classic shape, the size is great. And I just really, really love the Alma style. I feel like it's so classic Louis Vuitton. So the Givenchy Antigona and the Artsy and the Empreinte, those bags both left my collection. With that being said, I probably wouldn't sell my Alma MM that I own now, just because the MM is now discontinued by Louis Vuitton. But it would be one probably that would be on the chopping block if I would ever have to sell a handbag. Another bag that I would probably have to part with would be just some of my other contemporary designer bags. I know those don't really count because they aren't as expensive, but you know, like my Coach Cassie, that bag could be repurchased. As much as I love that bag, you know, all the bags that I own right now, I haven't sold because I do love them so much. and each one fulfills a different purpose. Like I have a really great crossbody, I have a great shoulder bag, I have a great like top handle satchel in the Alma, like a classic ladylike type bag. I have a Chanel Classic flap. So all the bags that I currently own definitely check their own boxes. So it's hard to identify ones that I would sell now if I absolutely had to. But you know, that's just kind of the way that I think about it, is ones that could be easily replaced down the line if I needed to. Another couple bags that I have sold recently that were ones that just didn't really work for me was the Celine luggage. I had the mini luggage in the color coal, and I mainly bought it because of the color. It's just an absolutely gorgeous sort of bluish gray color. But the reason why I sold that bag is because it was very, very heavy. It's a full leather bag. It's lined in leather, and it's only, you know, crook of the arm or handheld, and it just is super duper heavy. So I normally am not really sensitive to weight in handbags, but that bag was just insane. It was like a Birkin. And I think the micro luggage would definitely be a lot better size. The mini luggage is just definitely a little bit too big and weighty. So as much as I love that bag and it was gorgeous, the color was unbelievable, it left my collection. Another bag that I bought off Saks and then subsequently sold to Fashion File was the YSL beige Matalas, whatever, flat bag, like the envelope flat bag. I did a video on that comparing it to my Chanel Maxi, so you can check that out if you're interested. The YSL brand, I would say I definitely have a hard time warming up to. I've owned the Lulu, and I've also owned that bag. It's their classic flat bag. And the Lulu I really liked. The flat bag, I felt like the quality was just not as good as I expected it to be, I guess I would say. There were some, you know, kind of glue residue and marks. The hardware was a little bit susceptible to scratches in my experience. And I really only used that bag like once. And I liked that the magnet was really, really strong on the snap. And, you know, it was comfortable on the shoulder. I always find the YSL chains to be a little bit chintzy. That's just my personal opinion. They're beautiful bags, but I always feel like the chain straps and like the leather break and the glazing are just a little bit, the quality is just not as nice as I would expect from the price tag. And their yellow gold is like super yellow. I love yellow gold, but it's very, very bright, like goldenrod gold hardware. So that's another thing that I feel like it kind of takes away from the elegance of the bag. But there again, it was a beautiful bag. I just I decided it wasn't for me, and so I went ahead and parted with that bag. And again, that's a bag they sell at Saks. They sell them, you know, in department stores at ysl.com. And so I could definitely repurchase if I ever wanted to in the future, although I don't see myself doing that. So being said, that is my list of the 5 bags that I would keep and the 5 bags I would sell if I needed to. I would like to tag a few people to continue this tag video. I'd like to tag my friend Andrea, and I also would like to tag my friend Amber, All Pieces of Amber. I would like to tag my friend Sam from the Purse Addict Sam, and I would also like to tag Melinda from Luxe Purse Love. So if you haven't already done this tag video, I would really love it if you would participate. It's kind of fun to sit and think about our collections and the things that we own or that we've sold, and think about, okay, why did I part with that, or why do I not want to part with this? And so, yeah, it's kind of fun to just sort of contemplate our collections in that way. So again, I'm going to be doing a 6-month update wear and tear video on my Chanel Trendy. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check in next or at the end of this week to catch that video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll know when I post that one. And I hope everyone's doing really well. I hope you have a great day and you're staying safe. I will catch you in my next one. Take care, guys.